And then Dan finishes off by criticising my recent use of flat pedals on my race bike, which is tough talk for a man whose dumbbell collection appears outweighed by his yoga mat. A happy new year and welcome to the first video of 2022. And no, I haven't started selling merch just yet. One of the kids got me the t-shirt for Christmas. I think he only got it to annoy his brothers that think this is all very cringe. I don't care. I'm wearing it all the time. It's even the perfect size. Now, I wasn't going to do another review of your indoor training setups so soon, but I had loads and loads of submissions for round 3 just before Christmas, and some of them were just too good not to have a look at, and some of them were too bad not to have a laugh at. So I thought I'd start the year with another. And as we all know, the fourth in any series is often by far the best. Let's get right into it, and bear in mind, I did explain to people sending in their photos that this one might be a little bit more roasty than normal, so please, before you go typing in the comments that I was a bit rude, just remember, I don't give a fuck. Off we go, and it's Frankie's to start with. Didn't say where he's from, but some Google stalking narrowed it down to almost certainly New York, or this is somewhere really boring. He just pretends to be from New York for business reasons online. You can never really tell nowadays. Anyway, kick a bike, big TV, Wahoo floor mat, Wahoo fan, very nice start, but this, not so much. Tip for future Pain Cave submissions: in the early videos, sticking my name or photo up on screen was enough to get you included, but I'm too small-time famous for that now. Every time I do a park run, someone yells above average at me. This is no longer enough to massage my ego and get you an automatic inclusion. So anyway, this end of the cave is okay, but the other end, what's going on? There's a rower, which we do like, but what the hell are these things? And more importantly, where does Frankie and I suppose his wife or girlfriend ride these his and hers monstrosities? I can only assume straight down to 2003 to appear in an Owen Wilson rom-com. And no, that's not a rom-com clip, because I'm not sticking rom-com clips in the middle of my videos. Right, from New York, possibly, to Munich, definitely. This is from Matthias. No reds, no yellows here. I mean, I'm trying to roast these things, but this is just a sea of various shades of sexy greyness and hell of a cave, typically German and efficient. This makes me want to just tidy up in here and remove my sense of humour. Kick a bike, kick a fan, big TV, painted walls, Wahoo table, treadmill, another TV, a ski erg thing. The floor looks good, it's neat and tidy. Some road gear for core work too. He even says he's got a weights room next to this room. And he's got the power block from his kicker in a plastic container to keep it away from sweat. This is why I drive a BMW. He does appear to have duct taped his ceiling together, but apart from that, unroastable. To Brazil and Gabriel's cave. Here's a tip to get your cave included. Be from somewhere cool and interesting sounding, like Brazil, and then have a view from your window consistent with what I think that place should look like. That is what I think Brazil should look like. Houses randomly scattered over a hillside. Now, he might be lucky because that could actually be a very unrepresentative view of Brazil, but because I assume that all South American countries look like an episode of Narcos, he's getting away with it. Back inside, treadmill, bike, screen, fan, it's all there. Easy, clean, hard floor. Nice. If I get one more photo of a bike sent in on carpet, I'm going to go nuts. Over the other side, apparently this is a Pilates device. I'm going to take his word for it and hope I haven't just been trolled by the inclusion of an 18-rated Brazilian love rack. Either way, I want to have a go on it. Anything that needs 16 carabiners to operate is my kind of gadget. If I'm being fussy, the floor tile there does not fit properly to the others. I'm a bit strict on floors and walls, but overall nice, dedicated little space in what looks like a beautiful part of the world. Talking of which, if you think that my lumping all South American countries together is unfair, in my defense, the closest I've ever been to one is Mexico. And I can tell you now, every single power socket in the hotel room looked like that. So I'm just saying. Okay, first one from the UK, and Carl is a fireman with a nice setup, which is handy, because I'm not sure you can be mean to firemen. They could be like nurses now. I get very confused. I think in the UK, firemen and nurses, you've got to be nice to all the time. Police, sort of, you should be, unless they catch you speeding. Lifeboat guys outrank all of them. Anyway, it's an outdoor space. Obviously, a lot of people don't have the room for that, but when you do, it is so much better if you can separate workout space from living space. Brilliant. Inside, nice. Kick a bike, Wahoo fan, treadmill, squat rack, dumbbells, whiteboard, storage. He is ticking all the boxes. I'm not a giant fan of exposed wood walls, but Jenna loves them. In fact, over Christmas, she made me build a display wall thing for one of the kids' bedrooms looking like that. I say kid, he's 21. Interestingly, in the first Pain Cave video, when I was looking for an alternative description for an indoor training area other than Pain Cave, he came up with Fortress of Virginity, which is ironic given he has now covered that wood display unit in toys, including a Harry Potter wand. So, on Jenna's behalf, I will give the exposed walls a pass. And also, Carl has cunningly gone for motivational wall art featuring Rocky, thus preventing me from saying anything negative about his motivational wall art.
Clever girl.
And lastly, Carl may take time off work to exercise, but fire has no days off. Hence, he's got an extinguisher, just in case. Would probably be more beneficial next to the dodgy wiring in Gabriel's place in Brazil, but you never know. My kicker bike had a Bluetooth drop out the other day. It is a slippery slope from there to spontaneous combustion. That's a joke. Wahoo products do not explode. We love Wahoo. On the other hand, Garmin Vector 3 pedals, I wish they would explode. Useless junk. Kathy's Cave in Nebraska. I know nothing about Nebraska other than the Bruce Springsteen song. If you know that song, probably best to assume that there's more to Nebraska than that. This is Kathy's bike, and this is Kathy on her bike. As she says about her setup, it's not fancy, but it works. I like that attitude. It's partly why Kathy's is featured. You don't need huge space. A bike, a screen, somewhere to put your water bottle, job done. And even better, and the other reason that Kathy gets her pictures up, this is a $80 Walmart bike that Kathy did her half Ironman on, flat pedals and all. Fancy Pants Pain Cave, very cool. Crossing a line on an Ironman, way cooler. Good stuff, Kathy. But your TV's a bit high, you're going to get a bad neck. Now, having said you don't need fancy this, you don't need fancy that, this is Sam's, and he may be pushing the definition of Pain Cave a little far because Sam, that's a window bay. I mean, you've got a fan and a screen, and these little guys look quite cool in a sort of Avengers spaceship way. But I'm not going to allow this as a pain cave. If you went to Batman's house and he offered to show you the Batcave and you said, yes please, and he then stepped into a window bay that was just empty, apart from the George Clooney nipple suit lying on the floor, and said, what do you think? You're going to say, Bruce mate, that's a window bay. And doesn't that fan just blow the sweat straight back up into your face? Come on, Sam, get it together. Talking of mistakes, Dan sent in a video.
Hello Mark, Triathlon Dan here, and it is my absolute pleasure to present to you, for a roasting, my wattage cottage.
Where do we start? First of all, you asked for a roasting, you got only yourself to blame. Secondly, Triathlon Dan, that's not your real name, is it? Not checking into hotels as Mr. Dan, Triathlon Dan, are you? It's not even a nickname, because his name is Dan, which is already a nickname, it's only got 3 letters in it. Talking of ridiculous made-up names, wattage cottage, I assume Daniel is joking because wattage cottage has a very creepy sound to it. It might be the word cottage in there, but strange man, made up name, getting sweaty in the wattage cottage. It sounds like something your neighbours would write to the Daily Mail about. Onto his setup, hasn't tidied up, nice touch. Looks like he's just finished a big chest workout there. He's got a mirror, which is great, but I'm not sure if the one we're looking at there is actually meant for his gym or if it's just where he's storing things that he's got from a car boot sale. Car boot translation for car boot sale. Do other countries have car boot sales? America, you have yard sales, don't you? In the UK, we stick all the stuff from a yard sale in our car and we drive to a field and we sell it there. It's as grim as it sounds. Now, this is interesting. I've got a little tip here actually, as a parent myself. When you have very young children and they make you stuff, just say you took it to work and put it up there. Then you get to throw it in the bin without upsetting them. You don't have to actually display it. There's parents everywhere now going, oh my God, genius, didn't think of that. Take all that crap off the fridge. You're welcome. Over here, we've got a kicker bike and then another kicker bike. Stop right there. That is obscene because I want that. I don't have space in here. Actually, I want 3 or 4. Wahoo, send me some free non-exploding bikes, please. I want to race my friends in my garage. He's got a treadmill, Ironman Wales flag, ridiculous amount of wiring, needs some German plastic containers in there. A nice mirror though at last, although unfortunately it appears that Wattage Cottage is taken a bit more seriously here than anyone could have possibly hoped. Oh, and what is this leather-bound thing? It looks like Phileas Fogg has provided the storage units for this place. And then Dan finishes off by criticising my recent use of flat pedals on my race bike, which is tough talk for a man whose dumbbell collection appears outweighed by his yoga mat. One Dan to another. But this Dan's cave does not get roasted. This is a space that Dan transformed into his cave following the loss of somebody close to him. He now uses this place to train and reflect and remember. And as a means of channeling grief into something productive and hopefully therapeutic, that is possibly the best thing I've heard of in a long time. Dan is getting into triathlons and I would expect the motivation he will find when he's at the limit doing that will come from this place. Having read Dan's email that accompanied the photo, everything about this room is perfect. My only tip for Dan is don't start calling yourself Triathlon Dan. A, it's taken, and B, it's stupid. Right, John's cave sneaks in really because unless it's hidden from view, the guy hasn't got a bike. But He's from Poughkeepsie, which is a place that I've not heard of since Ally McBeal, and that was, quite frankly, good enough for me. If you don't know that TV show, ask your parents. Here's a taster though.
You're my sun, my moon.
If you're now thinking, wasn't that Robert Downey Jr. dancing in a bathroom? Is he high? Yeah, and probably then, yeah. To be fair, it's not just 90s trash TV on John's side. He's got a ski erg and a rower and a load of very cool Rogue gear. He's even got Rogue fans and a Rogue chin-up bar. I'm going to let his wall art slide because it appears to be more factual information than motivation. A very nice room. I'd stick a bike in there, slap a TV over that Fighting Irish logo, be super happy with that. I don't know if covering up a Fighting Irish logo is a serious offence in John's house. My apologies if it is. I like that one. From all the fancy gear to DIY, this is Mark's front wheel propped up on some old DVDs, rocker plate knocked up from some scrap wood and tennis balls. The guy even plays music to ride along to himself. But the best part of all this is what sort of noises is he making that he needs to soundproof the wall in front of him. Is it a neighbour's wall? Are other family members beyond it? We need to know these things. Did he get complaints that they heard so much grunting and groaning they thought a wattage cottage has sprung up next door? The mind boggles. But at least it's neat and tidy, which cannot be said about Matthews. Dude, what the hell is there? I don't even know where to start with this. You know that Showgirls thing where something is so bad it's actually good? This is not that. This is just bad. Do you not own storage? How can you work out sweating over that little bear? Matthew, that is horrific. And in this picture, I've had to censor Matthew's reflection because I wasn't 100% sure he was taking a photo with sufficient clothing on. To be fair, his clothing is probably buried underneath something there, but even so, too much skin on show and not the good kind. Now, interestingly, Zach in Australia, in contrast to Matthew, at first glance looks like he's got storage nailed, but I'm not so sure. All the bits are here, heavy bag, rack, treadmill, a bike hidden away there somewhere, but don't make the mistake of thinking neat and tidy crap is not just still lots of crap. Here's what I do every few months. I have a sort out. If I find something I've not used in 6 months, and it's not seasonal, I get rid of it. I'm going to bet Zach could take a weekend off barbecuing or whatever Australians do in January and have a clear out. For a start, the entire top row there looks like empty storage. Don't store storage. Sell the wicker things to Frankie in New York to stick on his rom-com bikes, put the rest on eBay, and then work through the rest. Do you need a giant collection of bright fabrics? I doubt it. This is a cave with lots of space, plenty of gear, just needs the gear to be the focus, not the shelving for long since forgotten arts and crafts hobbies. Watch out for spiders if you do tidy up. Only been to Australia once, bloody spiders everywhere. Okay, last three, and these have all got something that I like a lot. Pele from Denmark, first of all. I love the projector. How immersive to have that big a screen there. I love the black walls, not a nipple suit in sight, but still feels very Batcave. And when you raise the screen up, he's got the speaker system from a 1981 Def Leppard concert going on back there. I'd want to see that automated rather than propped up by a broom, but that's a minor detail. At the other end, nice space, free weights area, more Rogue gear. I'm a bit confused about what's going on with the walls there, but too confused to worry. I mean, is it bare brick? Are those panels covering? I don't know, who cares? Nice space. He also said in his email that he was after a 200 kg deadlift by the end of the year. Stick it in the comments. Did you get it? I got 200 last April. It is not a lightweight. You also say that you played a Rocky soundtrack in there. If you didn't get 200 with that music from those speakers, then there's no hope for you. Now, this is Braden from New Zealand. And Braden says that he put a lot of time and thought into creating this and basically built it based on other pain cave videos I'd done. And it shows because it's close to perfect. In fact, it's almost too close because there's nothing bad to say about it, which isn't very funny. Wahoo bike, Wahoo fan on a rocker plate, decent free weight setup, treadmill, good floor, plain walls, whiteboard, wired in audio. For Braden, that is 100% spot on perfect. For me to roast, it's very boring. But he is an accountant, so to be expected. Lastly, Ethan wins the What the Fuck prize. Let me read you his email. Before you judge this one too harshly, know that I'm a college student living in the dorms at my school, and the bathroom at my dorm is the only space I can set up my trainer in. PS, love your videos. They're great to watch while procrastinating on schoolwork. There are so many questions here. Is this his private bathroom or a communal one for all students? Are other people waiting to shower while he pedals away? Are you allowed that much electrical gear in a bathroom? Does he pack it down ever? Or does he just do other bathroom activities around it all? Is that textbook important? In his favour, it does appear to be able to sweat straight into the drain and can go from bike to freshen up pretty easily. I suppose ultimately, if it has a bike and you work out in it and it's not a window bay, it's sort of a pain cave. And somewhere to put your cave is better than nowhere to put your cave. I'd like to tell Ethan that if he just carries on studying really hard, then one day it'll all pay off and he'll be able to have a giant workout room in a massive house. But all the students I know end up working in Starbucks, so mate, get used to just dropping your laptop in the sink, just in case. Done for now, and thank you to everyone that sent in pictures. I'm sorry I can't do all of them at once. Another episode will follow, I'm sure, so yours may turn up in that. Please do give this a like, hit the subscribe thing as well for future notifications. If you have any feedback or comments, as always, stick it all down below. If you want to offer a twice weekly cleaning service for Matthew's house, or you're a Brazilian electrician that can go and sort out that dodgy plug in Gabriel's place, do not post in the comments. I'm not some sort of middleman for such things.